Scott, you have made pretty substantial progress, pretty incredible transformation in the past couple of months. Let's start with what you've gotten done, what you've seen happen on the scale since we started working together.
So on the scale, literally, I am down 14 pounds. I am hovering there because I am gaining muscle. My physique has completely changed in how it looks, how people react to me, how I feel standing in front of the mirror. The power that I feel in my body again is just incredible. I don't want to say indescribable, but in some days I feel like that. I was sharing some thoughts with you earlier, and it was hard to come up with words just how much it has changed me. I guess I remember who I am. I remember who I am, and I had forgot that for a long time. And so it's for me, it just slowly crept in over the years. I would go up and down. I would sort of get in shape, go out of shape. But by doing the disciplines that you laid out for me consistently, daily, not questioning them, just doing them, because that's what I would always do before. I was always interested before. And I would sort of kind of do what I was told, but not really. But by following the simple system you laid out, the results are just incredible, incredible. And I get compliments all the time. People are reacting to me differently who I'm meeting for the first time, or even my customers. It's just cascading across every area of my life. So it's not just my body, it's every area of my life that is increased.
Dude, I love to hear that. But you raise a really interesting point, though, which is you remembered who you are. Who were you? Like, what was going on with you prior to us working together? I know that tactically it sounds like you were interested, which I think is a really great way of describing that, just that mode of being and engaging. But as far as like at the identity layer, who were you? Who were you before?
Who I was before as a young man was I grew up, I was a wrestler. I was a wrestler in high school and college, in shape, physical, love the tussle, the to and fro, and then any kind of contact sport I liked. Through my 20s and my 30s was just very physical with doing all kinds of different sports. I like to water ski, barefoot water ski, just very, very confident in my body. Not necessarily muscular, but just I was very strong, and I just felt like I could handle any situation physically that came up or that I needed to do, whether it was at work, at home, play, fun, fight, whatever. Um, I would say starting in my 30s, that started to go away. I started, kids, married, all the typical excuses. But I started getting away from the things that came naturally to me before that. All that. I did a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but a lot of that was just natural. Then the weight started packing on a little bit, couple pounds a year, couple pounds a year. I'd go down, up, constantly yo-yoing for the next decade, decade and a half. And so it got me to a place where I would present myself okay or physically or confident, but it started to erode my confidence in the back of my head and in my heart. And I just knew that I wasn't what I was before, but I wasn't taking the actions to become that again. And so I was slowly breaking promises to myself. Oh, I'm going to do this diet. Oh, I'm going to do this workout regimen. Oh, I'm going to run. I'm going to whatever it was, I would do it for a little bit, and then I would stop. And what I noticed from the work that I've done in the last year, and specifically with you the last 3 months, is when you break promises to yourself like that over and over and over again, it just erodes your confidence. It erodes your masculinity. For me at least, it just eroded my pride and my ego. And I mean pride and ego in a good way in this context. And so that's where I was when we got together, was just very frustrated. Um, I would go so far as to say, a shell of the man that I was and that I knew that I could be, that I knew that I could be. And what's crazy is if a lot of people that you would talk to from the outside would probably find that hard, would be surprised by me saying that, because I had a, you know what I mean? I had a wall that I kept that up, and I knew how to present myself. And you know, in the world today, you don't have to be that fit to look fit. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's fat with moobs and dicky doos. So it's like I was okay. I was doing okay. That's what I kept telling myself. And I
Mhm.
quickly realized, though, from our simple workouts that we started with, that I was struggling, and in a lot of ways, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And so that was a big eye opener for me too. So I had, what I'm trying to say is, I had to humble myself. You know, we were talking about ego before. I had to humble myself and just accept help, trust the process, and just be consistent and do it every day.
Once you had built up what was behind that wall that you were just describing, were you able to then drop that wall in all the areas of your life?
I think that's a work in progress. I think I'm dismantling that wall.
Hmm.
May took out huge chunks of it, but I think that's a brick by brick, day by day thing.
So
But
in the
I can see
process,
clearly now. I can see over the wall. You know what I
yep,
mean? It's
yep, and
like,
the lights coming through. So in the
yeah,
process of dismantling and taking out huge chunks of that wall, and then just everything else that you've experienced, you know, the confidence that goes with that, the keeping of promises to yourself, the physical transformation, the strength, the physical strength that has come with that, and the conditioning and the energy. Can you just talk to me a little bit about what you've noticed in your day-to-day life? Because you got a lot going on. You are a parent, a grandparent, a husband, a business owner, a relentless student of self-development, a
yeah.
coach.
And it takes a lot to do that. You know, it takes a lot of energy to keep that up. And that was one of the things I noticed in my everyday life, is that I was able to do more. I had more capacity. You know, and it was the first month, especially, there was just that little gnawing voice in the back of my head that said, how did you let yourself get so bad? How did you let this happen? What did you know what I mean? While I'm trying to move forward, I've still got that voice in the back of my head trying to pull me back. And I just kept going. I just kept going this time, with your encouragement, with just, I can't tell you how much it helped just having something in front of me to just do. I didn't have to think about it. I just had to do this, do this, do this. Eat this way, count your macros, do these workouts. Zone 2 walk, hour every other day. And by doing that, it not only gave me more energy and more capacity, I began to start bringing that discipline into the other areas of my life. And with the people around me started reacting differently to me. The people that are closest to me, they love me. They're going to love me no matter what. But I can tell a difference in the way that they react to me, the way that they talk to me, the way that they are encouraged by me. I mean, my family, I can just see them getting into fitness more because I'm getting into fitness more and leading by example. When I show up on a job site, my subs and my customers react to me differently. I think there's more of a level of respect, almost intimidation, I think, really, because they start talking to me about things that I've never asked them before, whether they're working out or if they're bothered by their weight or whatever. They just bring it up. So it's really weird. I'm really sort of adjusting to it all, kind of thing, really. I mean, and it's to the point, especially in some circles that I get in, even circles that, you and I run around in sometimes. It's like, okay, I got it. I appreciate it. That's enough, though. It's almost not embarrassing, but just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like you've changed, like you are completely transforming beyond the Scott that everyone has known.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. How's that feel?
It feels great. I mean, it feels very empowering. It feels great. It feels exciting, um, fulfilling. It just makes me want to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've got a ways to go. I've got bigger targets than this. So,
You said something that was really interesting about the voice in your head, especially in that first month. Looking back and just being aware of the voice in your head now, is that voice, is it saying something different? And if so, what is it saying that's different? What is the message now?
It still comes up every once in a while. Um, I shouldn't say that. It still comes up quite often. I can just quell it a lot easier because I have results. That's the thing about the starting and stopping. You never get results. You never get anything you can hang your hat on. So now I have that. So now I know that if I just, if I don't want to finish that walk, for example, I know I can just keep going. If I just keep taking steps, I will get, to the hour or to the mile or whatever mark I'm trying to hit that day, that I will get there if I just keep going. So it's more so than saying something different. I just have the ability to keep going now, and the
Mm.
voice just says just keep going. Just keep
Ah,
going.
yeah. So there's another voice that has emerged.
That's stronger.
Yeah. And that is like your higher self squashing
Yes.
that lower self voice. Speaking of results, can you can you hit that flex that I just saw you do? Come on, let's see. Let's
We
go.
get a little of
Let's
this
go.
in there too.
You got kicked by a Clydesdale.
I
No heaven
did. I
felly.
did. I can't do it as good as you.
Oh, skills. It's a gift. I channel Arnold.
Yes, it is.
Um, all right. So
Although I walked in a place with my glasses on and they said, "Holy shit, dude, you look totally different." I thought it was the Terminator walking in here.
damn right. That's a fine
I took that
compliment.
as a damn good compliment.
Indeed, it is. So, in addition to this physical awesome transformation, and it sounds like physical, bit of a spiritual and identity transformation, you also sound fantastic, and you're showing up with a lot more confidence and certainty and power in your overall presence and with your voice and your ability to communicate. We worked earlier this year on specifically the voice. Can you share a little bit about what that experience was like, what you've noticed there, and then perhaps just tie that into this whole package of strong mind, strong voice, and strong body?
Yes, so when we worked earlier on that, it was very, very tactical, very um, some movements, some different exercises, some things like that to try to get your voice stronger and how to do it tactically. What I found was that until you change that identity, like you're talking about, that's only going to last for so long. That's only going to get you so far. But now with having this identity, this changed identity behind it, it's just multiplied it exponentially. And that I can just tell on a daily basis my level of power by how I'm showing up with my voice. To the point where I'm almost not even as conscious of trying to do the things we talked about anymore. Some of it is coming more naturally and I don't have to think about it. And even with different conversations you and I have, and you're just like, oh, your voice sounds great. I'm like, well, good, because I didn't think about it before we got on the call. So
And so it's spontaneous. And does it also feel, because a lot of people are concerned that training their voice or working on it in that way, they might achieve a certain effect, but it's not going to be authentic. So you've noticed that it's spontaneous, but how authentic would you say that is?
that's the perfect word to describe it. What I was trying to say was that word. By now, by being more authentic, by feeling better about myself, by having a body who can push out that voice and speak more boldly and be a channel, that God can work through, I feel emboldened by that. And I don't have to hold back anymore.
Wow. That is very powerful. What were you holding back before that you're not holding back now? Voice wise, message wise, physical power wise, anything. Just whatever comes up.
I just want to say, I guess my first reaction to that is just who I am. I can just be more of me. There's always that piece of me that wants to polish the edges off or be varnished or look perfect or have the perfect background, and all that stuff is great for presentation. But for me it was a way to hide. I was hiding, and I would still try to be maybe who I thought I needed to be for Michael to like me. And now I find myself being more of Scott. And if you like Scott, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. I don't have to have any negative energy towards that, but I can just be myself more and not have to worry about all those reactions.
Is that because Scott now likes Scott?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's so powerful. So what's next for you, dude? Like what are you going to do now with this newly leveled up strong voice, strong mind and strong body?
So, like you said, I am a coach. I help men rise, just like you do with the voice and the body and other things. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna reach out more and share my struggles, weaknesses, and then ultimately strengths with other people, and continue on this body journey. I've got more body fat to lose. I've got other goals that I want to reach down and do. And it's just a part of me now, though. You know what I mean? So those goals are gonna be set and hit, but that's not. I guess what I'm saying is I really had to focus on that for these last 3 months. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that was a domino. That's what I needed to focus on and
Right.
do. But now I can carry that into the other disciplines of my life. Whether that be continuing to grow closer to God in my relationship to Him and sharing that with others and bringing them along, increasing my relationships at home and with my kids. Again, just more capacity. We were at my daughter's this last week. She just moved into a new house and we were helping her do things, and my wife and I just kicked ass for like 3 days nonstop. And there are kids and they're like, holy, I can't believe everything you guys got done and everything that you did. And so I just want to continue to be that kind of person and be able to show up for them in that way, for my
Wow.
kids and my grandkids. I got little grandkids now, so I want to say I can wear them out, but not anymore. They're wearing me out. So I got to keep going on this journey so I can keep up with them.
Yeah, but you're at least keeping up with him, and it sounds like maybe before it was just totally gassing out. So, last question for you: What if you could look back to the Scott a year and a half ago, before doing any voice work, before doing any of this physical transformation, any of our work together, what would you say to him?
Say to get out of your own way, become humble, and do the things that you've brought into your life to help you, and quit avoiding them. I mean, that's the crazy things, is I would bring things into my life to help me, but because of my lack, I guess, of self-worth, of self-esteem, I would not do them. So I would just tell him to trust the process and go, and just step forward and go, and don't stop.
I love that. Where can people find you?
They can find me right now at choosetorise.com. That website is coming out at the end of the month. Marriagemagnified.com. That is my wife and I's podcast. Again, all this is happening, beginning November 1st, will be out and available. Those are the two easiest ways to get me. And I'm easy to
Awesome.
find on social media too. So
Awesome. Dude, Scott, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. This has been so much fun to dig in with you on both of these areas that have transformed my life so deeply, and to be able to see and understand the impact that they've had on yours just in every single way. It's exactly what I go for, dude. So thank you for trusting me and for rolling with me.
welcome. I appreciate you more than you know, to watching your journey and your growth too, and then being able to share that. I love the conversations that we have. And if you're watching this, like I just said, trust the process. You might be thinking, there was a part of me that when Michael started talking to me about voice, I'm like, I don't, what's voice? What does voice have to do with anything? It has to do with everything. That's what I've found out, is that it has to do with everything, and how you show up, how you present yourself. And it's a indicator of where you're at in your life. I mean, I had a weak voice before. It was sort of a whiny little voice at times, when I wasn't full of power. And so now I notice myself, like we've already talked about, that I just show up differently because of my voice and because of voice training. So don't discount that. Hit Michael up, trust the process, do what he tells you to do, exactly what he tells you to do, for however long he tells you to do it. and you will get results. Simple as that.
Your voice tells the world who you are. Well said. All right, Scott. Appreciate you, brother. Go
Shoot
forth
you.
and speak boldly.
I love that.